Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. It's 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. All right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the well Hungarian. All right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the mic. All right, let's get this night started. I know you came to have a good time. Yeah, practice your jokes now. I wanna see you over there. Phone simulation 2000.
Yeah. What do I do? I started playing a video. Sorry, guys. And thank you, Ian Ryland Smith, the official Fun Simulation dancer, rocks out every night, every week. I mean, well, every night too, to practice for his role on this mic. He practices every night, but he also dances every week. And I really appreciate you'll be seeing Ian later telling jokes. He almost told one before the mic, and I stopped him. I made sure. I said, no, save it for the mic. Save it for the mic. Thanks, Ian. Hey, I am here. I am Mark. We're going to start this mic. Let me see. Can I go to gallery view? Oh, look at this. Here's everybody moving around or not on camera. These are all the comics you'll see later. It's really cool. Just like a real open mic. People are just on their phones doing other shit. It's great. People are just eating, talking, and whatever. I don't care. It's just like a real mic, but it's not. I don't know how to convey that anymore, that it's just different. It's no better. I would say it's no worse, but I don't know. There's a wide range of the way this can go tonight. My computer can turn off, but then also in a real mic, somebody can attack the host physically. And so there's a wide range of I can't say one's better than the rest. I saw there was a little bit of Zoom drama today. It was pretty hilarious. People were stealing jokes from famous comics and doing them at open mics. And I want you to know that is entirely welcome here, because that's better material than you're testing. Tried and true material. Just call it a cover set. It's a cover set.
Yeah, right on.
I do want to do a cover night.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they name it, as long as they say, "Hey, I'm doing blah blah blah," yeah, you know.
Well,
they should
I don't even care. I don't even care. So we could play guess whose set that was. Steal it from the person sitting right next to you. I don't care. Well, I'm really, really hyper today because as some of you may know, and I think I mentioned it, I did 25 days of bourbon, where I did an advent calendar where I drank a different bourbon every night until Christmas and including Christmas. And now I'm just and I want to know, like, we'll see how it goes. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do after this. Like, am I going to stop drinking? Was that my all-time low? Or did I just set a new pace for myself? I go until I see how I dry out, guys. That's what it's gonna. You got to wean yourself off of it. No, for real though, I'm staying sober tonight to watch my cat because she's so high on catnip from all the toys my mom got her. It's really weird. My cat is very stoned right now, and she'll be making an appearance later when she gets the munchies, I think. I don't know if anyone has been watching the news this week. It was a big holiday. Then on that big holiday, we determined that the 90s were back. The 1990s are back. They're back because white guys are back to bombing shit. That's what they're doing. Not just on Zoom mics, not just bombing on Zoom mics. They're physically blowing things up now, just like they did in the 90s. It's really great. I mean, honestly though, like I hate AT&T a lot. I'm not gonna, but this is gonna make their service worse. They're not gonna get any, like, if you're mad at their service and you blow up an AT&T building right now, it's not gonna get any better. You're not gonna find, none of us are gonna be able to talk to an AT&T employee in person for at least 10 years after this. Like, they're gonna be behind glass. They're gonna have to get fingerprinted just to bitch and return your cable box. I'm not looking forward to that. What else am I gonna talk about here? I didn't do a set last week. I didn't open because I played a very long cover song when I should have done a cover set in that 5 minutes. I didn't do that right. I did the wrong thing. I thought it was a music mic. No. Has cancel culture gone too far? That's a debate we have. What do we think here? Gallery of Comics, is cancel, head shake, thumbs up. Has it gone too far? Just no, but a lot of apathy, just apathy and note checking. You could read your notes during your set. You don't have to study your set right now. I'm reading right off of my spreadsheet. It's great. Probably tell that because I'm stumbling around. No, I don't think cancel culture has gone too far. I think it has to go far enough that you can't even punch up anymore, says me, a white straight man. Once you no longer punch up, then cancel culture can't go any further than that. For people watching at home, punching up means you can make jokes about people from a higher privilege, a higher standing in privilege, but you can't make fun of people with a lower standing of privilege. It's a very scientific formula. It's very scientific. We study it as a community. We come together as a consensus on what is appropriate. I don't make the rules. Like, I can't make jokes about women, even white women, because I'm not just because I'm not black either. Like, if I that was a bad example of it. And as a straight white man, who can I punch up to? And it's pretty obvious that it's just rich people. That's all we do now. That's why do you think there's so many middle class white comedians that love communism so much? Like, oh, landlords, am I right? Landlords. Oh, come on.
Shit.
For the first 100 years of our country, only landlords can vote. You had to own land to be able to vote. And things were fucked up back then because that's when Republicans were the good guys. That's how fucked up it had to have only landlords. So, okay, I'm going to end on this. My only advice on where you could still punch is, if you get a stimulus check, you could punch up to people that make too much money to qualify for a stimulus check. How about that? It's still on the table for everybody. We're going to get this mic started. I am so excited. Stick around to the end for the fastest minute comedy. You'll see everybody do a speed round. I'm trying to find our first comedian. I was too busy actually telling jokes for the first time in 2 weeks. So please welcome our first comedian, Elango Gopalan.
Thank you. You're all here. Let's begin. You know what I'm starting to feel really bad about lately, and I know I shouldn't, but I just kind of do, is actually Melania Trump after all these years. I mean, you got to think about it. She's been in this country for what, 20, 30 years by now. She's still considered a stranger in a strange land. She's completely unknown to what the rest of the human population actually does or says. She has completely negative, neutral affect. You don't know what she's thinking at any time. Totally poker face. And yet somehow only she has the power to potentially stop a megalomaniac from destroying the entire planet. Oh, by the way, anyone see Wonder Woman last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it either. Maybe I should have done that joke the other way around. But anyway, I do love December because it is the the annual celebration of the birth of my stimulus check, otherwise known as my 7-year-old daughter. And people always say, hey, children are a gift from God. Children are absolutely priceless. Well, that's true. There is a price for these children, and that's $600. So I'm waiting for mine. By the way, speaking of what Mark said earlier, yeah, you can definitely tell who's flexing in a douche-like way, not just because they drive a Tesla or something, or they pick a fight with a retail or food service employee, but when they say things like, well, I'm not getting a stimulus check, you can tell right away. Okay, I get it. You're a douche. But yeah, speaking of the $600, my daughter just turned 7, and I have 1 kid. And a lot of well-meaning friends and family like to always ask me, hey, so how come you only have 1 kid? And strangers ask me that too, which is a very weird question when I'm getting a swab put up my nose for the 4th time after going out in public and accidentally almost getting contaminated. Hey, YOLO! But people ask me that, and I like to tell them, hey, listen, all right, marriage is all about compromise, okay? When you love someone, you make deals with them. You don't always get everything you want. So, for example, my wife wanted 2 kids, and I wanted 0. So we take an average. Henceforth, we got 1. Now, I'm telling you, good fine people out there, that we have 1 kid. My wife, on the other hand, she's gotten a little addicted to mommy blogs. So she likes to make this joke in public against me where she says, I actually have 2 kids. One is my daughter, and the other one is my husband. Okay, slow down there, Amy Boomer. First of all, I like to remind my wife that I left India and came to America at a very young age to get away from this whole concept of child marriage. So, honey, if you're bragging to strangers about being married to a kid, well, you might need to move somewhere. I don't know, check Airbnb. They might have listed Epstein's mansion on there by now, but either way, you need to get out of here. So, as I'm trying to think more, though, about what types of jokes I should be doing in my comedy, because, I'm still very new to this and I love coming to these open mics, I've come up with a very neat, interesting formula that can help figure out who my friends are that should listen to this. So, for example, if you don't believe in David Hogg of the Parkland school shooting and you think he's a crisis actor, but on the other hand, you would vote for Boss Hogg, who was a fictional sheriff in The Dukes of Hazzard, you might be too conservative for my jokes. On the other hand, if you think that Elf on the Shelf should be canceled because he's a gentrifier, maybe you're too stupid and liberal for my jokes. I don't know what happened one day. He showed up on my living room mantle. He's got that psychotic Aphex Twin grin. And now all of a sudden tacos went up $20 per. Right? Yeah, I don't think so. So that's the way I kind of look at this. And I think if more of my friends follow that formula, they'll know when they should laugh and maybe when they should cancel me. Anyway, that's all the time I have. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Yay! I had to go check on my cat. My cat is sound asleep, so she's not tripping out anymore.
Joy.
This is good, guys. This is good. This is
Joy.
really good. Who's still talking? Someone's like,
Yeah.
Ian.
I'm not talking.
Oh, that sounded like him.
I'm gonna put everybody back into the waiting room. Behave. Don't you wish mics had that though, where you could just mute somebody in the audience? My God. I can't wait to do this in person again. I know somebody who has done a couple shows in person, but is super careful about COVID. Please welcome the careful comedian, Laura Hogg.
Oh, somebody's afraid of getting canceled because he calls me the super spreader every week. Yeah, there's one white lady you're not afraid of taking on. That's all right. Yeah, I like Zoom comedy because I can eat right up until my set. I would eat during my set. I'd eat after. I don't care. Some people are like pre-show shitters. I'm a pre-show eater and a during show. Anyway, you get it. Well, actually, it was fitting. I was in Weight Watchers for a while. Love that. To be in a room and support each other when you find out that one Twinkie has 8 servings in it. Just watch the crestfallen faces of all the women there and occasionally a dude. But I remember I went home and, I was a bad kid, so I was always getting into trouble and bringing trouble into the house. So even now that I'm middle-aged, I still go home, and whenever I go into the kitchen, my dad still has PTSD, I guess. So I was in there looking for a measuring cup, and my dad's like, heard me rooting around. If they didn't have such complicated fucking antiques and just had some real fucking furniture, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, my mom was like there's nothing like being raised by an antique dealer who hates to dust. I'm like, that's what we need, more figurines, Anyway, so they've always got some weird, old timey flower nook that stuff goes in, and I don't know what any of this shit is. So I'm looking for a measuring cup, and my dad's like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, I'm looking for a measuring cup to measure my ice cream. Now there's something that why did I even get tattoos if I was ever going to utter that sentence? Why am I even here? And it's like, and then my dad's like, oh, Laura, just eyeball it. And I'm like, eyeball it? Do you think if I could eyeball it, I'd be in Weight Watchers? You eyeball it, motherfucker. So anyway, I miss seeing my family this year. But and granted, I was an intravenous drug user. So maybe he's got some thing around spoons, either way, whatever I'm into, the spoons are getting ruined. So, but I don't do that anymore. I worked at a hotel. I've only been fired from a couple of jobs. Otherwise, I just, usually I see myself out, but I worked for this hotel, and one time this, our guest checked in, his name was George Hitler. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but here's what I wish I would have said. When I think back now, I'm like, hey, any relation, or like, why would you even keep that name of Hitler? Like, if you weren't related, what do you think? What was he thinking? Like, I think the guy got a bad rap, you should just be proud of your name. Clearly nobody with Hitler as, anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah, just, of course we made jokes about, you must like it, really hot in your room, and just terrible stuff. That would probably get me canceled now, but yeah. So anyway, George Hitler, that was one of the highlights of working at that job. And when I got fired from that job, I thanked them. I was like, thank you. I know it wasn't going well. I mean, I'm the kind of employee you want to fire, because I'm always really nice until, one day I showed up and set the place on fire. All right, that's all I have. Thanks.
Yeah, Laura Adolph hug. Every week she just gives me something to move on to. Oh Lord. Thank you, Laura Hug. Laura's based out of Chicago. Very, very, very never a friend of the mic. Never showed up to the mic. Walking distance. People have walked further to the mic than she has. Because she's in the Three Dead Moose crew or something like that. I don't know. That's her business. Our next comedian, however, showed up to the mic all the time, and then didn't show up, and then started showing up again, and then COVID happened. So I think he's to blame for COVID happening. Our next comedian, Andrew Shankland.
Hello, folks. Hey, everybody. Hey, I got a question for you all. If the city of New York has been a character in so many of Woody Allen's movies, why didn't it speak up about his inappropriate behavior sooner? It's like, in fact, it continued to appear in many of his movies even after we knew the stuff he was doing. I think we have no choice but to cancel New York City entirely. I think we're going to have to submerge the entire island of Manhattan to show people what happens if you think about marrying your stepdaughter, okay? That is what Woody Allen did, I believe. I didn't Google it, before this. I don't like Curious George. It feels very condescending, and it just doesn't feel cool for me. Just doesn't feel okay to call him Curious George. It's like, yeah, he's a monkey, and you took him out of the jungle. He's gonna have a couple questions. Okay. First of all, what's the deal with the big yellow hat? Second of all, even if it's not a sombrero, still feels kind of racist. Okay. Don't do that. My little sister said I should try out for The Bachelorette. I don't know if you guys have seen this show, but people on it, they're always saying, I didn't come here to make friends. And I feel like if I was on it, that would be the main reason I was there, was to make friends. I'd be like, you can't take me on a date tonight. I'm playing FIBA with the boys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to give me a rose. We're going to go bowling next week while you're out doing whatever you do. Cool. I don't like the stereotype that men don't like to talk about feelings, because I love to talk about my feelings. It's one of my favorite things to do. So much so, in fact, most of the women in my life are like, Andrew, we get it. You're sad. Okay. Stop texting me about it. Even my therapist is like, Andrew, have you thought maybe some of this stuff should be bottled up inside? Maybe press it down a little. Don't share it all with me. People are always talking about, oh, don't let your haters live in your head rent free. It's like, what else am I supposed to do? Have them sign a lease agreement? Like, hey, you slighted me 6 months ago. You're gonna have to pay me $20 every month for the next year because I cannot stop thinking about it. I think it's only fair that I'm compensated for what you've done to me. It's like, no, I'm gonna keep it a secret. A lot of my friends are very nerdy like me. The thing is, like, they're always talking about spoilers. It's like, I don't care if you spoil something for me, because all I'm reading are books about philosophy. It's like, yeah, you'll ruin Soren Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling for me. Nobody say anything to me about German existentialism. And yeah, I know Kierkegaard wasn't German, but that's fine. I hear people say this. I hear people say sociopaths. They see people as chess pieces, and that's okay with me as long as I'm not a pawn. You know, I want to be one of the better pieces, like a rook, a knight, a bishop, something like that. I care about God. Make me a bishop. I'll move on the diagonal. Come on, something. Okay. Cool. All right. This will be my last bit. My last joke. I was watching the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I like watching old movies because you can see how different the world used to be. Like, there's this scene that really shows that in It's a Wonderful Life, where George Bailey is driving drunk and he crashes into a tree, and a man comes out and goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Get back in that car and drive, buddy." And that's really fun to me. Okay, bye.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, Shane, Glenn. I love it. I also, it's a very nice courtesy thing to announce you're going in your closer. When you're going in your closer, it helps me find the screen that I'm supposed to be on, instead of checking Facebook messages from people looking for the Zoom link because it went to the spam box. I don't know why that happens. Our next comedian coming up, very excited, from California, Gary Hughes.
Hey, for sure. Thanks, man. I have a sleep guard now. I have to sleep with a sleep guard, and the lady gave me a mold of my teeth. So if I ever, like, I'm gonna bury these fossils. This is my grill, y'all. Just let y'all know that's my grill. And I'm gonna bury these like a crime scene or something to see if they like dig these up or something like that. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with these. Interesting thing about sleeping with a mouth guard, your dreams, you don't have a mouth guard. I thought I'll be dreaming with a mouth guard and a huge lisp, like, "Hey guys, it's me, Gary." That doesn't happen. So that was pretty interesting. When I was in high school, I was supposed to, not supposed to, but I almost had a baby with my Asian girlfriend. I almost had a kid with her. Or that's what she said. She said she was like, back then when you're in high school, I don't understand the woman body, like women anatomy right now. But like back in high school, you like, all you want to know is like, did you get your period? That's all I want to know. And she just wasn't getting it for like months and months. And so I thought she was pregnant. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like thinking like I gotta drop out, get a job at the post office, all kind of shit. And she wasn't pregnant, so I broke up with her. I was like, cool, let me get out of this right now, because she was crazy. And I say that because I'm glad that baby didn't come, because I had got an ant farm like 2 months ago. And like within like probably 2 weeks, I killed all the ants accidentally. It was 50 ants, farming ants, not just like harvester ants. And it turned out my room was too warm when I was away, and they just toasted in the room. And I had no idea. I was so oblivious to it. So I'm so happy that baby's not here, because like I'm not fit to take care of that anyway. We didn't do Secret Santa at my job. I like doing Secret Santa because that's how I passively talk, like tell you how I feel about you, about my coworkers, whoever I get. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, you got me hard candies that's all stuck together. Yeah, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't take my shift last week. And fucking with you. Or you get like 99, you get a dollar store headphones, where dollar store headphones, you hear everything but the music. They actually bring in sound. You're like, yo, what the fuck? I hit the freeway, boy. And I ain't even by the freeway. And a train coming, you better back up. A train coming. I bet you it's coming. Those are interesting things. What's up with the magician? Hey, where's what's the heavy set dude that does magic on here? Paul, yeah. I'm like, I wanted to ask him about the magic community, because because you know, comedians talk about doing therapy, going to therapy, you know, a lot of mental stuff. I wonder how their mental health is. Like, are they like serious in the therapy room, or are they like, the therapist like, where's my pen? It's like, here's your pen right here behind your ear, or here's your pen right here out here. Or, you know what I'm saying? They get pulled over and the officer's like, can I see your license? And they just like pulling out shit from their sleeve. Like, oh, here, it's coming. It's coming. I just don't know how the magic community works in the hood. I know how the magic community works in my hood. They call credit card scammers. They're quick to get your shit. They very fast to get your information. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, I think that's all, man. I'm Gary Hughes. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I miss Secret Santas, but here at my work we did do a white elephant remote. We did it, and everybody, I would say about 90% of my team is new to the country, new to the United States. They're immigrants, and it was their first time doing such a thing, and they didn't realize that you could steal each other's gifts until about 75% of the way through. I took someone's speaker, and then even when I explained that that's the point of the game, then they asked if they can steal from the managers. The manager's immune from it, and I said no, go ahead, and then they all stole from me the rest of it. You learn a lot. It's a very international company I work for. Our next comedian coming up to the stage, Eddie Mansbach.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was looking through my notes and I was like, I have a bit about Falcon and the Con Men. I realized that's the episode of American Greed I have to watch later. I was like, what did I write about that? Let's see. I like all these clickbaity articles that are like, oh, this is when you're gonna have to stop wearing the mask. And then I think, well, hopefully never. I love them. They're part of my new identity right now. Like, they're so warm and I look so good. I mean, I cover my face. I look so good, guys. I really like when you go to the grocery store and you see somebody you kind of know, you don't have to say anything. You can be like, whoa, didn't see you under the mask. Sorry about that. Like before I was like cagey and aloof, but now I'm like a good person. Like, just don't talk to me and be a good person. Leave me alone. And here's some hot money saving tips. I know, you know, things are kind of tight right now, right? So if you don't have any money for a mask, you can just get them for free in the parking lot. They're right below you. Just look down and just, boop, there you go. You're welcome. Save you like 20 cents. Here, you don't spend it all in one place. I was thinking about my first crush the other day, and I remember I was in second grade, and there was this guy, Andy. It was a boy. This is another like 8-year-old. How old are you in second grade? 6, right? I don't know. Anyway, there's another boy named Andy, and I loved him so much. I used to just like write in my diary about him, and he never liked me back. It was my first of many experiences with unrequited love. As I get older, I realize it doesn't matter because he's dead now. So it all worked out in the end, you know? yeah, maybe he had a congenital heart defect, or maybe if I can't have him, nobody else can. Just like stab, 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 stab. Now I tell you, I have like 4 internet boyfriends during quarantine right now. Oh my God, it is so much fun. I love it so much. Oh, I feel really rebellious. Like I don't tell my mom what I'm like 30. She wouldn't care. She'd be happy. Finally, somebody loved me. But I feel like when we have to get vaccinated and like meet up in person, that's like a bridge I'll cross when I get to try to like whittle it down. But honestly, I feel like I'm gonna self-sabotage it for other reasons beforehand. Just like I want you to want to make me happy. That's what I want, okay? I love using that line. That one's so good. One of my internet boyfriends, he doesn't realize that we already met in person like a year and a half ago at a bar. Yeah, we spent the whole night talking, and then he left, but he did say, Patty, you're pretty funny. And I thought, oh, I thought you were gonna say I was pretty, full stop. But yeah, pretty funny. That's good. Thank you. Thanks so much. And so, as you see, I'm not really good with like this dating stuff and human interactions, but I do know that this is how you shock a white guy. This is how you do it. You tell them you've never seen a Quentin Tarantino movie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They get so mad at you. It's like you offended them or something. They get jealous. You're to watch it for the first time. I don't know who Quentin Tarantino is. Like, I think he did the Batman movies. That's I don't know. Like my favorite Batman character is the Seal Kiss from a Rose song. That's my favorite Batman character. I'll leave you on this. A lot of people say, oh, Zoom comedy isn't real comedy. You gotta do it in person, do it live. But you know what? When we all left to go smoke cigarettes, when you were on stage, that wasn't comedy either. So stop being a hater, everybody. I don't have any more time. So thank you guys.
Yeah. That was good stuff. Yes, I do go out for cigarettes during some of your sets. I just put on a loop of myself laughing and clapping. No, I'm just kidding. I've never done that. I will never do that. I'll never leave any of you alone up there to tell your jokes to a non-attentive me. I'll always be attentive. That's promises, Mike. I start late, but I stick around. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome Melissa McGillicuddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Great to be here. I don't know about y'all, but Sundays are like the worst day of the week for me. I don't know if it's just like I get bored or I'm just thinking about what am I going to do with my life for the following week. So I try to stay active. That's been helping a lot. Earlier today, I heard some birds chirping outside my window and I thought I should go outside for a walk, commune with nature. And I was like, no, I'll just have DoorDash deliver me another $25 Chipotle burrito bowl. Am I right? Sundays, huh? So we've been in this pandemic since March, and I still cannot find like hand soap or Clorox wipes or toilet bowl cleaner. I mean, were we like not buying this stuff before? Were we just totally disgusting and not buying things to clean our house or body with? Even so, let's say like that's true, right? We've just been totally gross, and then all of a sudden we decided not to be gross and we bought all of the cleaning products ever made. That was 9 months ago. Has no one been making stuff since March? Did soft soap shut down and they're like, we're working from home? Dial's like, dial it back. We're not making any more soap. I went to the store the other day. I don't want to brag, but I've been to a store or two. And I was looking for hand soap and I couldn't find any. And I know where the hand soap is in the grocery store. And so I finally had to ask somebody, like, where's the hand soap? And she's like, oh, you're so close. It's right here. And I looked where she pointed and there was just 7 shelves of this stuff called America Fresh. That was the fucking hand soap. And it was mint scented hand soap. And I was like, America Fresh, mint flavored soap. Someone got confused when they made this. Like, Americans are too stupid to handle this soap. Like we eat Tide Pods. Okay. Like this sounds like mouthwash to me, right? Like when have you ever described your hands as smelling minty fresh? No, it's only your breath. Okay, this joke, sorry, it's quickly turning into a PSA. Look, don't drink the soap, kids. I was doing a Zoom show as one does a few days ago, and when I got off the stage, I noticed that the like middle button in my shirt had been unbuttoned for my whole set. So like 4 people virtually saw my Target sports bra. And it made me think of remember that Pussycat Dolls song? Loosen Up My Buttons. Okay, well look, there was a Pussycat Dolls song called Loosen Up My Buttons. So now we're all caught up. But I was like, how do you loosen up a button? I mean, it's either buttoned or it's unbuttoned. There isn't really anything in between. So that got me thinking, I'm pretty sure this is my theory, you guys. The song was originally called Loosen Up My Butthole. Which you can do, but you can't say butthole on the radio, so they changed it to buttons. And this has been VH1 Behind the Music for all of you over 35 years old. Thank you. That's my time. Thanks, Mark, for having me tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of the mic.
Thank you, Melissa McCullough.
Hey.
That would be a very different song. I found out speaking of, since we're talking about hand sanitizer, I want to tell you what happened on Christmas Eve. I've been keeping a bottle of hand sanitizer in my car basically since last March. And it's the one I use whenever I go out. It's like my bottle, my trusty bottle. And it got down to 17 degrees overnight. And my sanitizer froze, which makes me know that it is not even close to the amount of alcohol that should be in it. Because I also I had an unopened bottle of Buffalo Trace bourbon in my car, which is only 45% alcohol. And that didn't freeze, but my hand sanitizer did. So I was using some complete trash hand sanitizer for the first few months, and so what I'm saying is COVID's fake. Go blow your nose on people. I don't know. No. Our next comedian, he looks like a COVID denier, but he's taking it serious. Dan Lianco.
Oh, jeez. What's going on? Hey, Mark, it's great to be here. Look, I got to apologize right off the bat. I've never been to the beginning of this mic, and I think I want to say that I see why, but it was so much fun. Like that felt like we were at a real mic. That I'd never been to in person with you, but it felt like comedy to me, and I like that. And people could say what they want about Zoom comedy and what counts and what doesn't, but I got to be honest, I'm working on some resolutions here, and I don't have any jokes. I just wanted to talk to you guys and hang out for a bit. Like I would if we were, hanging out, because part of comedy is just hanging out and getting to know each other. And when I used to do this, in person with people, nobody lets me talk. So I couldn't get very far unless I was on stage, and then they were outside smoking. So what I'm trying to say is, being a real, kind of an older guy hopping in the game of a younger scene. I guess writing jokes would be a good start. I just wanted to make some friends, maybe laughs seem like a good thing okay, here, I'll work. I got some. All right, this is going to be weird. How when you're having sex and you decide to say something, positive, like, oh, it feels so good, right? Like that. I was uncomfortable saying that too. But how come we never say it feels so great? Like, how come it's never great? Why is that so? Maybe it's because it's me. It must be me. I don't know. Maybe you guys say great, if you say something like that at all. But yeah. So anyway, I regret all that discussion too. Okay, here, let's try this. The Handmaid's Tale, not your bread and butter if you want to get your girl in the mood. On that out, and let's see. I have a theme going. Look, this is me trying. I was going to ask you guys for resolutions, but I'll dive right in and see what I could do. Bombing feels good, you know. I was shaving in the shower the other day, you know, with the lights on and the mirror. And my girlfriend's like, why do you need lights in the mirror? Don't you know where your face is? I'm like, of course I know where my face is. So I shaved, you know, in the dark. And no incidents. I was like, all right. I mean, I had a few spots that I missed, no big deal, nothing to get into a fight over. But then we're going out to dinner later, and I'm driving, and she's riding shotgun, putting on her makeup, you know, with the visor down in the mirror. And I look over, and I just flip it up. I'm like, hey, what, do you not know where your eyes are? Oh man, it was a zinger. She says, well, I'm putting on mascara, and unless you're taking me someplace fun and trashy, then I'm going to use the mirror to put it on because it's mascara. And I was like, okay. Which, anyway, I thought it was a good one. You know, I thought it was a good I mean, it made sense to me. But all right, well, hey, one resolution. We're gonna go. Hey, Dan, write some jokes. Nice hanging out with you guys. Thanks for having me, Mark. You guys have a great night.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan Wiego. Fun and trashy. She's heard of this mic. Then she has heard of of what we would do in person. $2 hams, $5 Old Crone ham specials. I miss those. It'll be back someday. I will check your papers at the door. Not just for your vaccine, but for your STIs as well. We're gonna make sure this. We'll do a lock in one of these.
Not a lot of people getting in then, Mark.
Yeah. That's I could tell Kevin Combs' voice. I didn't even see him, but I could tell that he would be down for that, and he would not be allowed in. That's just how it's gonna go. Guys, we're gonna keep ribbon. Our next meeting coming up. Seth Rabin.
Woo! Thank you. So, do we have any Disney fans here? Any fans of Disney movies? Anybody?
No.
All right.
Disney.
Okay, cool. Here's why I was okay with Bambi's mom getting shot. So, just picture. Okay, so you have this deer, right? It's just wandering around in the open land, you know, not thinking there's anybody around, and then the hunters come along and take her out. In a way, I think the hunters prevented her from a worse fate because she could have gotten easily getting hit by a truck. Like, I thought when she got shot, it was for a safer reason. I look at it this way. If I live in kind of a sketchy neighborhood, like if a mugger takes my wallet, I figure it's just because they want me to stop spending money on fast food. You know, they're just looking out for me. Stuff like that. Okay, I'm working on that one. So I recently just turned 30. I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago. And I found out that recently that my birthday, I share the same day as National Emo Day. I don't know if you know much about emo music, but I didn't know that until my parents called me on my birthday, and I thought they were going to wish me a happy birthday, but instead they just welcomed me into the Black Parade. My Chemical Romance reference. So I hate going into I don't like going to grocery stores. I know I have to go, but they always provoke me. Like, they always get under my skin for whatever reason. Like a couple weeks ago, I went into a store and I went to the cake section, and it was right before Christmas, and I passed by this cake and it said Merry Christmas in white lettering, except for the word Christ. It was in red. Like, it was just flashing. For those who don't know, I'm Jewish, and the cake was just flashing at me. It was almost like it knew I was coming in. Like, that sucks when even the pastries are anti-Semitic. Another thing is I'm a big fan of 90s music, particularly like the romantic songs, because they sort of get me in the mood. Like, they were playing Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, and I don't know what the hell happened, but by the end of the song, I was making out with a Martha Stewart cardboard cutout. Like, it just got me in the mood. So speaking of 90s, I'm a big fan of Space Jam. It's one of my favorite movies ever. And I'm so mad that they're doing a sequel. Because it's like, I'm so mad because it's like, crap, now I have to go see it. You know, like, it's tempting me, you know? It's like, sometimes like horrible things, like horrible, awful things will attract me. it's one of the reasons why I don't want kids, because I feel like my 2-year-old child would be like, Daddy, I made a poopy in the living room. I'm like, crap. Is it bigger than the dog's? Yeah. So I'm almost done. Don't worry. I'm a big fan of. So I found out recently that oh, okay. All right. So I work in news television, and growing up, I'd always hear like whenever like they say like a body was found like in the woods or something. I just figure it just means it could still be alive. I didn't know automatically meant the body's dead. Like I would love to hear like in a news report like something like the body of John Smith was found this morning. It was found teabagging its friend Joe. And when asked why he did this, Smith said, "If you knew Joe, you'd do the exact same thing." All right, I'll get out of here on this. Okay, so I've lived in Wisconsin now for 5 years, and people normally when they move to Wisconsin, they get warned, oh, it's going to be cold, it's going to be snowy, be careful. But I lived in Minnesota for a couple of years before that, so I was already prepared. I'm really prepared for anything. Like if I go to hell and Satan's like, this land, this is for the heartless, the soulless, the careless, you will never survive here. It's like, dude, I was okay with Mufasa falling off the cliff. Bring it. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Woo! We're glad you survived Wisconsin, not the cold. All the serial killers that outside of deer season, they still got their blood lost. That's what happens. Like, oh boy, I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, and I am drying out. I'm completely not drinking tonight. I'm looking for our next comedian. Where is Kyle at? Is Kyle in here? I don't see Kyle. Is there a missing Kyle? There's a missing Kyle. Going once, going twice. Then we got our next comedian coming up. Very excited. He was on his phone. Now he's on his computer back at his place. Ralph Anthony.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's it, baby. That's the problem with Zoom now, because now you think you can do everything. I got an iPhone, a laptop, and a burner. And yeah, you think you could be on 3 different shows at once, and no, it's just 3 of the same terrible sets, one after another. It's bang, bang, bang. What's up? Hey, how we doing 2020? Oh man, listen, I'm a little late to the party because I just found out about OnlyFans. Just found out about OnlyFans over the pandemic. If you're not familiar, OnlyFans is a website that is a virtual strip club. They won't call it a virtual strip club, but that's it. That's exactly what it is. And it's got the same premise, the same idea. You can watch as much as you want, but you still can't touch any of the girls. Listen, I say that full confidently, knowing that I look like a strip club guy. Like, I give off strip club guy energy. I get it. I look like a dude. I look like a dude who could slip a dollar bill through a G-string without getting glitter on his face. I know. I know. My problem with OnlyFans is that anyone can do it. Like, at least with stripping, you have to go to stripping school or dance class or whatever things that they make up to make it seem like it's real. You know, with OnlyFans, all you need is a healthy internet connection. In fact, that might be the only healthy thing about you. Like, have you seen some of their members? Good fucking God. It's like they're their only fan. I would actually pay them to keep their clothes on. In fact, I would probably pay more for them to add layers and a mask. Not a COVID mask. No, I'm not into COVID porn. I mean like a Halloween mask. Really just hide that whole fucking situation. Just hide it all. Oh God. Because we're just so body positive. We're so body positive that America has type 2 diabetes. That's all we know. That's all we know. Eating and sex. That's why we have a hashtag food porn. So how is it there isn't an Only Food Fans? How come there isn't an Only Food Fans website? Because you know that there's some depraved soul that's out there that'll masturbate on camera with a belt made of fruit by the foot around their neck just to make rent. Or maybe an account dedicated to people eating ice cream cakes while being called Fudgy the Whale. I don't know. But I damn sure know you can bet that you will find a diabetic who's into double penetration porn that would pay big bucks to watch somebody take 2 insulin needles at once. Now, I know most of you guys have gotten to know me, so you know that I love drugs. Love drugs, man. I'm an equal opportunity drug user and abuser, but it's hard to have sex on drugs. When I smoke weed and try to have sex, I get hungry. When I do coke and try to have sex, I can't get it up. But the hardest drug to have sex on is mushrooms, because when I eat mushrooms and try to have sex, my dick keeps floating away. All right, you guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Ralph Anthony in the building.
Thank you, Ralph Anthony. If that's your thing and you just like watching people eat, just go to open mics and put it on Gallery View. Surely somebody.
All right, you know what?
I was not calling you out. We usually have many eaters, including myself. I'll eat cereal later, I'm sure.
That's why my camera's always off, because I'm always eating. I'm such a fat fuck.
There you go. You make more money and get more if you just ate on camera, Ralph. That's what you got to pivot. You got to pivot with the times. Our next meeting coming up. Please welcome William Pake.
Woo-hoo!
I recently canceled my Netflix subscription because it just wasn't doing anything for me. Like Netflix doesn't really understand me, you know. I feel like YouTube really gets to the core of who I am. Netflix will just be like, "Hey, you want to watch Stranger Things?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I don't want to watch Stranger Things." But then YouTube will come along and YouTube will be like, "I know what you want to watch. Wisdom teeth removal animation." Then YouTube's like, "You want to watch Shrek without Shrek?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's a great night." I recently watched all the Star Wars movies in the span of 3 days, and I love the prequels. The prequels they're so bad. They're so good, but they're so bad. You know, like everyone's like, "Oh, they're so racist." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish they were more racist. That's the best part about them." You know. Like in the sequels, when I saw like Finn, the Black Storm, I was like, "No, don't. Space is for white people. Space is only for white people. Chinks can have Kansas. I don't know." But you know, I'm just like, I don't want to be in the fantasy, because like also like in the original trilogy, there's like all these old white guys on the Death Star, and then in the sequels, there's like all these like Asian people there, and I'm like, was there a fucking affirmative action program? What's going on? Is it like an internship thing? What's going on? Yeah, I love my parents because they are crackheads. They're absolute crackheads. But they look like these like 2 immigrant like people, and so everyone's always trying to like fuck with them. And I see that, I'm just like, don't like fuck with me, you know? I'm soft. My favorite movie is the Lego Movie. Like, start with me and work your way up, you know? Because like this woman, my mom, she has like 20 years of experience yelling at Sbarro employees. Like, do you have a game plan? How are you going to deal with that experience? You know? Like my mom chose to work at a Sunoco gas station. Like, you could work anywhere, you know? You could work at like a flower store or like a grocery store. But she was like, "Nah, I'm going to work at Sunoco. I work well with pedophiles. That is my skill. That is my skill." I feel like my dad, my dad, I realized that I was raised by a guy who was constantly Googling how to be good father and just following whatever came after that. Like, he would just take me to baseball games, and I'd be like, this is not doing anything. Like, can we go to the toy section of the Walmart? That's where I feel most at home. You know, like, I feel like he found out that he was going to be a father, and he was like, "Okay, time to collect stamps. That is what fatherhood is." I love the idea that like the great thing about stamp collecting is that like, I feel like if you do it, it automatically makes you like a better father. You know, like as soon as you collect stamps, it's like that's a good dad right there. Like, it doesn't work for moms. Like, for moms, if you saw a mom and she was like, "I collect stamps," you'd be like, "That sounds negligent. You better focus on your kid rather than collecting stamps." But for dads, it's like, you are a great dad right there. What should we end on? let's end on. Oh, I wonder if yeah. Sometimes I wonder if pedophiles are made or born. You know, like is it a gradual reckoning, or do you just because like if you see two 5-year-olds like who like each other, you don't know if one of them's like a pedophile, you know, and then they just grow up and they stay this. Actually, never mind. All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Brilliant bag. We're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna roll. Stick around for the Fast Minute Comedy. We are beyond the halfway point now, so that is pretty awesome time. I can't do the math that fast. Our next comedian, start your video, Jolly Bean. I'm gonna put you. Oh, you did start your video. That was just the background. Holy crap!
Hey,
Jolly Bean.
I'm here. Hey. So on Christmas Eve, I was at Chinatown buying the roasted duck hanging in the window. Not sure if you have seen those. So now you see, even on the busiest holidays, the Chinatown restaurants will always have their ducks in a row. Have you ever wondered why most of the time only one of your socks is missing? So the reason is because if both of the socks are missing, you won't even notice. So I'm the most overweight person among my friends. But the good thing is when we carpool, I can always call shotgun. So I don't have to squeeze it at the back of the car. I don't understand why people count sheep. No matter how you count them, sheep will never become sheep, right? And my grandpa, my 100-year grandpa, recently crashed into a McDonald's and was suggested never drive again. But did he really do anything wrong? The McDonald's says drive through. And Chinese guys never wear green hats because in Mandarin, if you say somebody's wearing a green hat or give somebody a green hat, that means that guy is cuckolded. But you see, in the meantime, yeah, Chinese factories, they're making the green hats and sending them to Westerners. So that's an interesting fact. And see you later, alligator, and for a while, crocodile. I don't think that phrase makes any sense because South Florida is the only place where both alligator and crocodile coexist. So unless you're in South Florida, that just means you will never get a chance to meet again. And you know what's the most annoying song in the world? 1-800-18700 Cards for Kids. You know that one. Donate your card today. Now I have an updated version for that. 1-87700 Cards Run Over Kids. Wash your card today. That's much better. And this is haunted bit. The day Simon Cowell disappeared. You know, earlier that day, people say Simon Cowell and Gordon Ramsay, they had a roast battle. That must be fun. I hope I was there. Later, Ramsay roasted Simon. I have faith in Ramsay because I believe he will make the roast very well done, but not too dark. And why I'm not a fan of IMAX. The reason is the IMAX theater I went to had a separate exit. So that means when the movie is finished, I don't have a chance to sneak into another theater to watch a second movie. So have you watched The Tiger King? So my question is, which one is harder? Trees COVID patient number 1, or which tiger ate Rachel's husband? And okay, so my bear comedy partners, they didn't show up today. That's because we signed the contract. I promise I will pay them equally, rain or shine. So now I only perform with them when it's snowy or cloudy. Okay, I think that's my time.
Yay! Yeah. Yes. It's totally fine to go and watch the movies twice. You could steal from the movie industry because they're getting way too much in COVID bailout that they shouldn't be getting. And we are making the best content on Zoom, right, everybody? Yes, right. We're going to do this. We're going to keep rolling. Our next meeting coming up, Martin Pavkovic.
Hey, everybody. Cheers. You know, I love being married. I love my wife. And I love it when she helps out with the chores around the house. And I'm really grateful when she takes out the recycling because at least it makes her look like the alcoholic instead of me.
Huh.
So my kid loves dancing. I have a toddler and he loves dancing. So he'll say, Daddy, dancing. And I'll just say, Alexa, play, you know, whatever pops into my head. And I'll start dancing with him. So the other day he's like, Daddy, dancing. So I'm like, all right, Alexa, play 70s disco music. Hey, guess what, Steven? This is the music your grandparents were listening to when they were partying and most likely doing cocaine. Alexa, play 90s EDM music. Guess what, Steven? This is the music your parents were listening to where they were partying and definitely doing cocaine. And I'm like, I wonder what kind of music he's going to be listening to the first time he's partying and tries cocaine. So, you know, I always think like the same rules that apply into society for handicapped people should apply to people with face tattoos, where it's considered rude to point or stare. But I couldn't help myself the other day when I was walking down in the aisles of a Dollar General and I saw a girl that had a face tattoo that said bitch face. And I'm like, I have so many thoughts running through my head right now. Okay, like number one, did she get that in prison? Number two, is she just letting anybody that's interested in her romantically understand what they're in store for? And three should be the most obvious is like, if she's sleeping, is that considered a resting bitch face? So moving on. When I was in my younger days in my 20s, I was a big fan of punk rock, like a huge fan. So I wound up going to see a band I really wanted to see called Anecdote. And these guys are hardcore punk rock because the A in the name Anecdote was an anarchy symbol with a heroin syringe for the crossbar on the A. And after the show, I said to them, hey, my parents are out of the house for the next week. You want to come to my place and smash some beers? Which they said yes. So, like, you know, what's the worst that could happen with this, right? So as we're all hanging out in the back of my parents' porch, overlooking the field in the back, the lead singer's nickname's Hatchet gets this weird look on his face. He's this panicked look. He's darting his eyes around at the other bandmates. And I'm like, you guys all right? And he's like, you cheeky bastard. You slip Mickey's in my beers. I'm like, what? You put LSD in the beers. And the whole band's like, yeah, woo, this is great. This is a great trip. I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything in your beers. What are you talking about? He's like, bullshit. You didn't put it in my beers. What am I seeing all those blinky yellow lights in the field? Like, you talking about the fireflies? Fun fact: fireflies are not native to Great Britain. So I'm like, oh no, these are these bugs that glow and their butts glow, and they're called fireflies. And Hatchet grabs me with the seriousness of I'm telling him tragic news, and he's like, "Are you telling me they're bugs that they have blinking beacons in their bums?" I'm like, "Yes, Hatchet, I am." And they went just running out in the field like a bunch of kids running around. It was kind of funny, but all right. Maybe not the best joke, but I'll end on this. Everyone here, we all do Zoom meetings, right? You know, if I can give any of the comics advice here to make the Zoom shows more fun, is put on the panorama mode. Not to see what jokes land in people's reactions. It's to watch the pervasive drug use in the rest of the comics. It's like a Quentin Tarantino film, but with far less crappy dialogue. All right, I'll end on that. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, Martin Pavkovic. Sorry,
you got it.
I could do it. I just gotta read it. I can't go from memory. I actually have to read the letters. That usually works. Well, we know Ralph Anthony's hitting the food right now because he turned off his camera. And who else out there? There's a lot of people. Not. I don't know who is that. What's that? Oh no, I don't see anyone.
I'm open about my alcoholism and drug abuse.
Nobody else is eating. I'm drying out tonight. I am just this sloppy at hosting just when I'm feeling at my best. So that you guys get to deal with. Our next meeting coming up, Ying Vigilant.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Mark. Yeah, good to see everybody still hanging around here. 24th, the Christmas Eve, I went out for the last minute shopping. You know, because this Christmas still going on, even though it's a 2020. And so I went to a Fred Meyer. I don't know if your local have a Fred Meyer. And then, you know, normally every year they put the gift item, you know, like idea things on the aisle, right? The shelf, so you can pick up the store recommended, you know, suggest. But this year it's kind of weird. They don't have those packaged, the gift item thing. All they have is like socks, gloves, a hat. I'm like, whoa, there's just no romance at all. It's like, oh, they go to practical. There's nothing I need. But then I turn around, saw there's a grease remover. Oh, wow, I did that. That's for Christmas gift. I'd rather they put a toilet paper, or Lysol, or some dishwasher. Yeah, in there, that would be more practical for 2020. But I almost bought that toilet paper. It's just so like if I wrap it around, my son will be so excited. What is that? The huge box. I don't know what's going on with 2020. No gift. So I said, okay, I'm not giving up. It's almost like past like 5 o'clock. The store, they close at 6 on Thursday, on Christmas Eve. So last resort for me, always Walmart. Walmart has been my saving grace. So last hour, I went to a Walmart. Anybody went to Walmart this year?
No.
Christmas gift? Yeah, and guess what? They have nothing, Walmart. The shelf is all empty. Normally they have the holiday session of nothing besides decoration thing. I'm like, what is going on? Santa got COVID or something, or Santa now, maybe we should give a Santa some vaccine, because Christmas is Santa is the #1 essential worker. I cannot believe Walmart have no gift at all. Oh, that fucked me up. You're right. It's like at least the Fred Meyer have some grease remover on their suggestion shelves. So I went home empty-handed, nothing. Oh my God, I kind of lost sleep on the Christmas because I don't know there's nothing on my tree. My kids got something, and then the Christmas morning, like I was panicked. I'm like, this year it's gonna be, I don't know. I panicked. I got up. I went to the ATM machine, the bank. Thank God, the ATM was not quitting. They spit out some cash. So I did the Chinese way. I put the cash in a red envelope, put in a Christmas card on the tree. So my 2 kids, they're happy. They were out to see. And what I got from my son is this cup. See, like straw as mom, like, is that a Mother's Day thing? As he said, he got it at Target. Hey, Target is smart. And my daughter got me this, a perfume. Like, wow, they got something. I was like, on the pandemic, I'm not seeing anybody. No day, no work to go to. So do I supposed to make myself smell good? But so that was good. That was good. Did not turn into a disaster. Okay. Last week I finally had our work had a staff meeting. Okay, so it's been 3 months. The staff get together and on Skype. So when I'm looking at a Skype, right? Nobody turning on their cameras, or the voice was on mute. So I see a sea of black squares with their name at the bottom. I'm like, wow. And it's the first time I noticed there's so many names are the same name. It's kind of like 2 names of Karen, 3 names of Andrew, and 5 Chris's. Yeah, that's my work. But then that was me, just went in. I was like, what am I? Diversity hire? So I'm thinking, if this pandemic going on another year, I should just change my name to Chris, or Karen, just to blend in, guys. Blend you in. All right. I still have time.
No, that's it. Thank you, Ying.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
It sounded like we won the war on Christmas. We tried to ruin Christmas by stealing everything from Walmart's shelves so that nobody could get presents from Walmart. We almost pulled it off. Thank you, Antifa.
Yeah, they didn't have a gift this year.
I know. We stole them all to cancel Christmas, like the Grinch. That's what we did.
Oh, geez.
And we're gonna pull it off fully next year. That's how we're gonna do it. Either that or car bombs. I don't know. Our next comedian, he might have some ideas on that. Sorry, Ian Ryland Smith.
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
I don't
I
know.
might have some ideas on car bombs. Who do I look like, a genius? I am not as smart as I look. Don't let the glasses fool you. But yes, I am a professional, if you will, at satisfying women. I'm very good at it. And I'll let you in on my secrets for absolutely free, no cost. Okay, 90% of what I do is not talk. This is some pretty hot stuff until I just ruined it with my mouth. And then like 9% of it is paying for stuff, yada yada. Everyone likes their shit getting paid for. And then 1% is, dick. But yeah, I feel very comfortable around women. Especially women I can't sleep with because it takes all the pressure away. I could talk about Bitcoin and not have to worry about getting laid because I'm already not getting laid. So Bitcoin is cool. So I'm thinking about quitting comedy and becoming a hedge fund manager, being useful to society. I'm also thinking of becoming a financial advisor. And it's a very tough and rigorous process to become a financial advisor. Do you want to know how you become a financial advisor? You call yourself a financial advisor. That's it. That's all you have to do. And I'm going to give you all some free financial advice for absolutely free. You're not going to find this free advice anywhere else. Don't take those classes on YouTube promising to turn you into a millionaire. They're just going to take your money. They're just going to take $100 a month from you, and you're not going to get jack in return. But anyway, here's some advice. When you're making a portfolio, make it diverse. Don't have a showcase with all white male comedians. You want something like the Shark Tank mic, full of diverse individuals. If you don't know the Shark Tank mic, it's Mondays at 9 Central on my Zoom. So check it out, please. Anyone can show up and do a presentation, and you might even rake in some big bucks. There's no real money yet, but there might be someday. That'll be fun. Another thing is there's an expression called "don't spend all your money in one place." Unless that one place is Bitcoin. Put all your money in Bitcoin. That's literally free money. Can never go wrong. 1 minute. Let's see. What can I say in a minute? That's funny. Oh, I'm starting a new service. If you're having trouble falling asleep at the middle of the night, you can just call me and say, "Hey, Ian, I can't sleep. Can you tell me how Bitcoin works?" I'll charge by the minute, make bank. Except I won't make bank because Bitcoin will make banks obsolete. All right, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Ian Ryland Smith. Yeah, you're gonna.
Woohoo!
I don't care if you plug your mic, but if you're gonna, you have Bitcoin, you could spare at least like 1 or 2 to give to your.
One Bitcoin? Are you insane?
That's 30 grand.
That's $27,000.
Not real money. It's fake money. Just give away a Bitcoin.
It's fake money that's worth $27,000.
You'll have a massive amount of people showing up if you do just one Bitcoin.
I only have half a Bitcoin.
Okay, I'll stop harassing you. Our next comedian is not on. He doesn't have his video on, and he is muted. So I'm gonna skip and come back. So I'm gonna keep looking around for a comedian that is here and ready to go. Wait, did someone just turn on? Well, what is going on? Is Amber Gill here? She's not here. Mara McFly's not here. I don't see Amber. So it's gonna be Josh D. Donato. It looks like from his car. Please welcome Josh D. Donato.
Hey, I'm in New Mexico. I'm driving across the country, heading to Chicago for New Year's Eve, and then I'm going to go to Atlanta. Yeah. So get ready, America. I had to talk about this one thing that I just saw. I'm just outside of Acoma, New Mexico, and I got off the highway to get gas, and I saw a sign. I've seen this sign before, but I never really thought about it much. It said, state prison, this exit. Do not pick up hitchhikers. Has anybody been before?
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me think, like, I mean, I understand why they have that sign, but it sort of implies like hitchhiking is generally encouraged. But here's one time you might want to not pick up. We always, everybody always says pick up hitchhikers. That's just the thing to do. But this one time, don't pick up a hitchhiker. All right, that's not worth doing comedy while you're driving, I bet. But you know what? I wonder if anybody's ever. I do not prefer to do comedy on my phone or in a car at all. But while driving, it's definitely not my preference and probably not recommended. I wonder if you can get a ticket for doing Zoom comedy. You can get a ticket for texting while driving. Can you get a ticket for doing Zoom comedy while driving? Has Zoom comedy made it into the penal code yet? There's got to be. I guess the one way, if you really wanted to go viral, you would get into a car crash while you're doing Zoom comedy. You know what I mean? I mean, who's not going to watch that? And then but you got to make sure to crash during, your trademark bit. You know what I mean? You got, like, if you have a catchphrase, you got to get your catchphrase in right around, when you're going to crash. Every good comedian, every great comedian has a catchphrase. Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. Larry the Cable Guy. All the great comedians. So, but I wanted to come up with a catchphrase, but it's got to be. There's a lot of comedians named Josh, so it can't be something that has to do with Josh. You want to pick a catchphrase that nobody else can do. So I was thinking, I got to do a catchphrase that based on my last name, which is DiDonato. So here's my. I got to start working. This is what my New Year's resolution actually is, to start working my catchphrase in.
1 minute.
To my bit. Thank you. You got to work it into your act, like 3-4 times during the act. So whatever, blah 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 blah, punchline, and then I say, Dito not told you already. So I got to do that right before I crash tonight, and then I'm gonna be famous. Ooh, Icy Bridge. Oh, guys! Wow! All right. This wasn't. This wasn't the worst set tonight. So, thank you. Good night.
Yeah. That was that. You know what? Every week somebody does a set from At Least Outside, and you're keeping that alive. I'm happy about that. But like you could always just pull over, like you're in a car. Like, what kind of time are you trying to make? What's your deadline to get in Chicago? Almost 10 o'clock here. I don't think you're not missing anything. There's nothing happening here. Like you can pull over.
Got to get there before New Year's Eve.
It did sound it like when I first put John, it did look like you're gonna go on like a very right-wing Trump rant, like guys always posting videos in their pickup truck.
I'm in my mobile command unit with my other Proud Boys, and I want you guys to know.
Too busy, I guess, driving to work and shopping. That's all they do. Shopping, buying an obscure part for their lifted F-350. That's what I went down to my hometown to visit my mom in her driveway on Christmas Day and give her a pizza. And I saw a pickup truck and the license plate just said, it was an Illinois license plate and it just said South. And then he had a giant bumper sticker that said, "Get her done." And I'm like, that's like where I grew up. And that's only about 23 miles from the city proper. So that's interesting. If you just keep going south, it turns into the South very fast. Our next meeting, another South Side guy. Please welcome Kevin Kellum.
South Side, baby. South Side is Chicago. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. We're all at home. So how's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty good. We just got through Christmas. My family did Christmas with all of us in a room together. And yes, I had a quiet little panic attack about every 15 minutes. One thing about Christmas I forgot, because, it's just a different year, is it's my quarterly shame meeting with my family. I'm Catholic, so can't go too long without the shame. And now the shame of Kevin with the Kellum family has now been adopted by a new generation. My nephews and niece, who are now teenagers, now have also taken the mantle of shame to Kevin. And this came in the form of gifts. I got them all a gift, but they each individually got gifts that are much greater in an obvious surface level money expended, and like what was spent on the gift was so clear. So I was trying to get them in their pile of gifts that they were assorted. I was trying to get them to open my gift before I knew they were going to open the better gifts, and they opened mine last. And I've never felt so bad for disappointing people. One of them got a bike. Another one got like some video game stuff that was awesome. Another one got a Blackhawks jersey, and here I am with a game about plastic burritos you can throw at each other. How am I going to compete with that? It would have been easier to hand you $20, not even with a card, just put it in your hand and just been like, here, just let's act like we never had to do this again. You know what I mean? That's what I'm working on. Another thing I'm working on is how large my head is. I don't like this. Get a look at it in profile. I don't like it at all. My head is, I've just learned, especially from spending all my time on Zoom, that my head is physically too big for my body. I don't like it. It feels abnormal. If I understand why my neck hurts now, I have a head that is physically so big, I should be smarter than I am. Like, that's the way I feel about it. Like, I have a head. If my head was a building, there's not a lot of people renting space in my head. There's a lot of vacancy in the apartment of my brain. So that's what I'm working with. It's kind of rough though with the family. The shame stuff is real. I have a brother 4 years younger than me, has a master's in chemical engineering. A master's in, what he's not doing? Yelling jokes to get some validation from strangers around the corner on a Zoom. You know what he is doing? He's talking to people about how to turn, I don't know, farts into energy for the third world or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's trying to do. I have another one. This one a little bit more controversial, especially this year. I have a brother who's a 20-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department. A 20-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department. Now, when I would say that on stage a couple of years ago, Mark, you knew this. You saw me perform. People would clap. They would clap when I would say that my brother was a police officer. Now there is, as you just heard, an aggressive, noted, intentional silence. like there is. I'm not saying anything. And I understand it. I get it. But it's okay. It's okay. You could clap for my brother. It's fine. You want to know why? because you haven't read about him in the news. That's why you can do it. He's just a cop who does his job that we take for granted. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. All right. That's what he does. And it's all right. It's all right. He's a Pro Bowl cop too. He's a top one. He's done some really rad stuff. He ran into a burning building, saved a family of 7 people, Ian. Ran into a burning building, saved a family of 7 people. Such a good cop. He's doing a firefighter's job at the same goddamn time. City of Chicago getting a buy one, get one on Officer Bob. It's ridiculous. Kick down the door, shot at the flames like that would put it out. I'm done, Mark. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. He burst in the door and he shot out the flames with his gun.
That's how I thought it worked. It's that's what happened.
That is a RoboCop move right there. I think
you stole the next line from me. You've heard me do this act so fucking much, Mark. You just jumped to the next part of the bit.
The Kevin cover. I wanted to make sure you got that. You ended abruptly for all your buttons. That was a cover set. We talked about it earlier.
I'm sorry. I've done that one for you way too many times. I gotta work on new shit.
Do other people's jokes. It's fine. I don't care. Steal each other's jokes. Or not going to be doing all Zach Galifianakis for the next 25 minutes. He's closing. Please welcome Max Halpert.
Ooh, Zach Galifianakis. That's a high bar, but I'll try and lift up to that mantle. How's it going, guys? It's good to be here on Zoom. I recently learned that I am a cat person. Not because I like cats. It's because the last 3 women I have slept with in a row have all had cats, plural, which means that cat women are Max people. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it might mean that I am literally a cat person, which makes sense because I'm kind of like a cat. I'm fussy, aloof, and when frightened, will spray urine in your face. I've also learned that I'm allergic to cats, so that's a problem. I woke up in the morning and next to this girl, and my eyes were all like red and puffy. And at first I thought, oh, that was just from the usual crying I do post and during lovemaking. But my throat was starting to close up, so I freaked out and was like, I have to go. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I think I'm allergic to intimacy. The problem is now I can only get hard using catnip. So what are you gonna do? It was interesting. I went out with the last girl that I slept with, and we went out, and it was a very interesting date. Immediately we go to a bar, and the first thing she says to me is like, "You want to do shots?" I'm like, "Marry me." And then she was like, "We'll have 2 shots of Rumpelmints." If you don't know what Rumpelmints is, it's a peppermint schnapps that's German for red flag. She likes Rumpelmints because it's 100 proof and tastes like the mall Santa who molested her. All right. Let's see. Maybe you guys can help me with something I've been trying to figure out. What is it like about the energy that I put into the universe that invites other men to talk at me about Bitcoin? Like where on my vision board did I manifest an unsolicited lecture about fiat currencies? I feel like cryptocurrency is just horoscopes for dudes who wear boat shoes. Like, ooh, I can't hang out right now. My Ethereum is in retrograde. Let's see, I'm Jewish. I'm always a little worried about coming across as too Jewy. Like, I won't pick up coins off the floor. Like, anything under a sack of Jawea is for the streets. Like, I'm just scared every time I bend down to pick up a penny off the ground, a white supremacist is going to pop out of a bush and be like, see, I told you they were shifty. Okay. Let's see. I just got this, I am from New York. I just got this job babysitting for this bougie family on the Upper West Side. And people hate the rich. I love the rich. They're great, man. I love the way they live every day. I walk into their apartment, and on their kitchen counter is just a bowl filled with fresh scones. Nobody ever eats them. They're always fresh. They're statement scones. How's your life doing? I love this kid. He's 8 years old. I asked him what his favorite food is. He goes, ceviche. I'm like, fuck yeah, ceviche is delicious. What do you think about steak tartare? He's like, only if it's Wagyu. And I'm like, correct answer. You're going to make a great senator. All right. Have a good night, you guys.
Thank you, Max Halpert. Nice, nice. Tying in the Bitcoin stuff. It's time for the fastest minute in comedy. So I know this is going to be good. Turn on your cameras, turn on your mics, because I'm going to bounce around. You're going to get 1 minute. And if I skip you, just yell something and then you'll go next. I'm just going to say names and we're going to go. We do this every week. It's very fun. Mark McFly is missing, but everybody else is here, I think. We're going to start off with our second comedian of the night. Stuck around the whole time. Please welcome Laura Hogg. Go.
Oh, I dated a knife maker, and he was not good. He's not good at advertising, like doing websites or advertising his products. And I'm like, look, the only way you're going to sell anything is if a celebrity gets stabbed with one of your products. The worst part is that he never liked to use, his hands were always really dry because he said, guys don't moisturize. And I'm like, really? Then why is there a giant bottle of Eucerin next to your computer? All right, that's it.
Yeah, we're going to go. Dan Wienko, go.
Oh, let's see. Oh man, I've been so busy trying to think up crazy apps. I came up with an app for to wake you up if you had a hard time waking up, and it was a cat throwing up. You know, that was the sound. I've had a cat throwing up. Turns out that's already been done. So I kind of figured that was kind of obvious. But this one's good. It's called Scat Chat. Yeah. It's what you do is you take shits in really weird, wacky places, like, you know, on top of a bicycle seat, or maybe on, you know, the top of a mountain, or maybe on top of a bicycle seat on top of the mountain, or maybe on the hood of a cop car, depending on what you're into. Everybody would appreciate that. And then you could put filters on it and make it talk, you know, and all that crazy stuff the kids do. And yeah, anyway, it's going to be great. It's dropping tomorrow after lunch. Thank you. Here.
Yeah, I don't see Jolly Bean's video start, so I'm going
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ian Rock Smith, then we'll come back. Go.
My
I'm here, I'm
turn.
here.
All right. I'm gonna, you know, we have a serious problem in this country. It's called incels. There's too many of them. And I'm gonna make it my life's goal to start a school for these wayward incels. I'm gonna make a class. It's called Nice Tits Bitch is Not a Compliment 101. You're gonna learn things like, what's a compliment? You have very pretty eyes, and I like that outfit. You have great style. Those are compliments. Here's not a compliment. Hey, you got a big dumper down there. I'd like to smack that ass. Not a compliment. That's just weird. Don't say that to women. Ever. I don't think there's any context where that's okay to say to really anybody. That's just weird. Don't be an incel. Okay, thank you very much. This was really fast.
Jolly Bean is back. Go.
Oh, so I recently write a Kim Jong-un joke, and then I was thinking, is a Kim Jong-un joke really safe? Because, you know, if I write a Trump joke, I know even if people don't like it, I won't be, and at most I will be canceled. I won't be assassinated, but who knows what will happen to Kim Jong-un jokes. And actually, I think comedy is actually a very risky thing. Like, for example, you know, in your live show, if audience member laughed so hard and suddenly had a stroke and is going to sue you, what can you do? Or if someone is doing the heavy weightlifting and suddenly hear your joke and crack up and killed himself because he's doing weightlifting, so what? And are you responsible for that? And okay, so my bear puppies, they didn't.
We gotta go to time. Sorry, Kevin.
Okay, no problem.
Go.
Hey, I'm getting to an age where weird things happen with my body. I was used to like my knuckles cracking, and that was fine. And then in my 20s, my knees started to crack, and that's fine. But now, when I fart loud enough, my back cracks, and that's not good. Like If I'm eating food that makes it so bad that I fart in a way where I have better posture, I guess there's some positives, but there really is a negative, right? Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, I asked this girl out recently. She hit me with the "I'm not dating anyone right now." If you don't know, "I'm not dating anyone right now" is code for "I'm not dating any you right ever." He handled me the same way you handle a homeless person asking you for money. Just like, "Ooh, sorry, I would, but I don't have any pussy on me right now." "Oh, sorry, I left all my pussy in my other wallet." But you know, rejection's part of the game. You got to get back out there, hit the streets. Spare pussy? Spare pussy? Ma'am, spare puss? Can you spare some snatch? All right, that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Max Halper. Thank everybody for coming out this week. Remember, buy Bitcoin, steal from Walmart, and what the rule of three? What else? And leave AT&T buildings alone, please, for love of God. Stop blowing them up. Thank you guys for coming.
Ian.